If you want to be better at world building, you need to follow this one simple tip. All you have to do is just make one small town. Don't start with gods, don't start with the solar system, don't start with a planet, continent, cities, nationalities, anything. Just one small town. If you start too big, it can get overwhelming and you're just not ready to do that yet. What you need to do is create a small town with a handful of people that are important there, and then write a story in that location. If you do this, you will be able to better understand how to build an ecosystem that is a working city. Study these things, figure out what goes on in a city to make it run, what places are needed to actually make sure it works and then it flows and it does well. If you just focus on this one simple thing, it really helps break down everything and on a macro scale. That way you are able to build on top of that. Because let's say this small town has really good exports of corn, for example. And this corn is then used to feed a local farm or goes to the military. Then you can start answering and asking questions like, oh, why is there a military nearby? Or why is there so much farmland? Is this a very fertile area that is really good and provides a lot for the kingdom itself? Is it just a small place that provides for their serfs that provide for their nobles? Once you start creating this small economy, this small place that is this one town, figure out how to name it, figure out what is around it, whether there's rivers. Rivers answer a lot of questions about how they get the water to actually make their things and to build up this city, this town. Once you can answer these questions, you can then start going into the much bigger themes of what this town represents and what this town does for the kingdom, or just for a modern day area. Does this town have anything special about it? If you're going to write a story that's set in a small town, it's really, really useful to really know the town itself. Because in small towns, everybody knows each other. So if you know these characters, you'll be able to write a much better version of this town and have actual realistic connections. So don't start world building with your gods and your pantheons, because you probably aren't going to be very good at it. Start with a small town and figure out how you can do better at creating these things. This is a tip that I use with my writing, but also my Dungeons and Dragons and all these different things. And honestly, share with people and ask them what they think. And if you know somebody who grew up in a small town, definitely ask them about it. See what made that small town work, why they loved it or why they hated it. I think it'll do a really good job of helping you out a ton. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what I'm doing here, definitely like, comment if this tip is helpful for you or not, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'm going to be working really hard for that. If you want to support me as an author and follow my writing journey of going from an outline to a whole published book, link in the description for my Patreon. That would be super helpful. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great day.